Hey, Al, I've been working on a particular show for just a couple of weeks now, jotting down some ideas.
Wow, I didn't know.
Well, I can't. All right. I didn't sit down for like 2 hours straight several times to try to come up with this video that we're going to do today.
Well,
I just had some thought process, and every once in a while I'll sit down and I'll jot a few things down. You know, and I think it's a very interesting and hopefully helpful subject matter for everyone out there, and also a time for us to look back, Trenton, at our mistakes that we made in our bourbon journey. There isn't enough time in this show, honestly, to dictate every single one of my personal mistakes that I made as I was getting into whiskey. You know,
yeah.
I really haven't been into whiskey that long. I'm not a lifer. It's nothing like that.
Compared to some other folks that in the grand scheme of things,
right.
it's not.
Maybe.
But it wouldn't have surprised me if you did take a couple weeks, because I know sometimes you're very meticulous about your videos and your ideas that you come up with, and a lot more thought out than somebody like me. I'm a lot shorter. I'm not wearing any shoes back here, and it feels really weird.
Is that what it is?
I always wear shoes in the house. I got house shoes. I got outdoor shoes. I got.
Well, I thought you had some upstairs.
I did, but they're all nasty because of the snow.
Oh.
So I don't want to trek it down here.
Okay. I thought you left some.
Yeah, I took them
Oh.
all. I looked for those for 45 minutes. I was distraught that I couldn't find them.
That's how I am with my slippers. If I don't have them around the house,
it's horrible.
I don't know what I would do.
No, I felt naked. It was terrible. I hated it.
But anyways, Jen, I don't know. I just feel like if we share and just be honest of the mistakes that we made in our bourbon journey, that it might be helpful to a lot of the folks out there to not make the same mistakes. Yeah. Or maybe something we might say might be a little different than what you do or how you do it, and it might be helpful. But I have to say, number one for me, do your research. When you're looking for a particular bottle, when you're looking for particular bottles of bourbon or whiskey, if you see something on the shelf, don't immediately buy it unless you know for sure that is what you want. I cannot count at the beginning how many times I've done that. I would hear a little hype, and then all of a sudden I'd look at it on the shelf and I'd be like, that's $70, but I got to get it. It's right here. I got to get it. And then I get home and I'm like, man, that's not exactly what I thought it would be. There's certain ways, Trenton has, you have a plethora of knowledge on this too. There's certain ways to do research, to research bottles. You can look at it on the shelf, get on your phone, in the liquor store or in the store or in your car for 5 and 10 minutes and get some really good information about that bottle and will help you educate yourself whether you want to purchase it or not.
Well, again, I remember specifically this one time at Trail Inn when I first started probably 6 or 7 years ago. They had just come out with the Thomas S. More lineup. It was 3 of them. It was the Chardonnay and the Pinot Noir, and there was one other one. And it was in the glass case. And at that time, anything that was in the glass case was allocated. It was hyped up and everything else. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't doing my due diligence at first. I just saw, glass case, decent price. I'm going to buy it. So I bought all 3 of the Thomas S. More ones, and I opened them, and I was not...
I remember that.
Yeah. I was not... I was not proud of myself that because they were like $70 a piece, and with taxes, it was probably $230 for all 3 of them after the fact. And I ended up giving them away because they just weren't what I was hoping they were going to be. That was kind of the time I burned myself first. Because I was lucky, though, because he had a lot more knowledge than I did at first. So if I had questions, a lot of times I would just call him. And then there were times where he didn't answer, and I bought it anyways, and it was a bad idea, like the Willet Pot Still. I remember that specific. I bought that freaking Willet Pot Still.
You were so proud of it, too.
I was, and I got into the car in the parking lot, and he called me, and he's like, hey, because I sent him a picture, he's like, hey, dude, don't buy that bottle. And I was like, well, it's too late now. No return policy or anything like that.
I've done it many, many times, lots of times. Now, here, listen, there's several ways that you can do some research quickly. I have the Distiller app on my phone. That has become very handy for me. You look up a particular bottle, there's thousands upon thousands of bottles of bourbon, whiskey, and other spirits for that matter. Normally what you will find is an actual review from a professional, which is sometimes helpful.
Yeah.
Really, it kind of guides you in some tasting notes and a few things like that. What I like the most, though, it's also crowdsourced for their own perspectives of the bottle. So then you give it a ranking up to 5 stars. So if, let's say, for example, 500 people have given their review on a certain bottle and it has like a 2-star rating, chances are it might not be that good.
Yeah.
On the other hand, if it's 4.5 stars, chances are it might be pretty darn good. Yep. So the Distiller app, you can get that on your phone, Distiller app. That's one thing. Does the Only Drams app have anything like that?
Yeah, Only Drams has that you can scan a barcode in store and you can see what the price should be in the store compared to, or what the MSRP is of the bottle and what you're seeing it for in the store. So let's say you scan it and it comes up as this should be $49.99, but the store has it listed for $80. Maybe you're not at the best store for that bottle.
That goes right into my next point, actually. My next point, which should be actually point number 3, don't overspend.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Don't overspend. So that I use your app mainly for that reason.
Yeah.
And also look at other people's stuff just because I'm a little bit nosy. But but honestly, I do. Even when we do shows down here, and I don't recall what I paid for something, I'll look at the app and see, what the price costs are and all that stuff. So don't overspend, guys. Listen, don't overspend, especially in today's market, right, Trenton?
Yeah.
Don't do it. If you got some store owner that you walk into, and it's still happening around us, dude. I walk into a couple stores not that long ago, and they had crazy, like some guy still had Elijah Craig barrel proof bottle at like $140.
Where?
It was at Michigan City.
Oh, I know where you're
It was insanity.
That's insane.
You walk into certain stores and something is pretty dramatically overpriced. Now, we're not talking $10 or $20. To me, Trenton, $10 or $20 is like a decision you can make.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're going to spend $10, $15, $20 extra and you really don't see that bottle and you hardly ever do, like say, for example, you run into a Weller Antique 107. We all love that, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's $10, $15, it's up to $85, $80, $90 even maybe. That's something that's a decision-making process. If you have the extra funds available, I'm not going to hate on you for that whatsoever because we hardly see those kind of bottles. Yeah. I'm talking about if you walk in there and you see that for $200 or something like that. It's just don't overspend. You will find it eventually. And it isn't going to make or break your world if you don't have that bottle for $200. Trust me, I've lived that.
Well, and two, you can tell a lot about a store if you go in there and there's a case of very allocated bottles, Pappy's, in this case, and Elijah Craig for some reason being that expensive. You can tell a lot about what else you might find just by looking at the glass case or the limited case that's in the store. Now, a lot of times you'll go to a liquor store and you'll see the case and there's like some very old St. Nick stuff that's in the $200, and it's not the stuff that you would expect to be in a glass case, but if there's not like the Pappy's and stuff like that, hopefully that means they sold them and you're not going to get ripped off if you do find it or other products.
Right.
But you can use Only Drams to scan the price and see if you're getting a good deal or not. We're also working on something to like help crowdsource prices. So let's say you're trying to find a Weller Antique and you're at the store and it's $120 and we know that based on another report that it's $85 down the street. We'll let you know where you might be able to get a cheaper price for it. And that's the biggest thing is not overspending. I almost spent $140 on a Blanton's for the first time at the exact store you were in.
Sure.
Because I really wanted it. And I called you and I was like, dude, is this a good deal? He's like, no, don't do that.
Right.
Well, I was like, okay. So I waited until Christmas time. And then old St. Nick came a knocking down the chimney or whatever. And I got one. But it was probably 6 or 8 months after that.
Yeah. Hey, listen. Hey, honey, plug your ears for a second, will you?
She might be sleeping.
I don't know.
Oh, no, she's not. She's
over there. But hey, listen, my very first, Trenton knows this. Kent knows too. My very first George T. Stagg. What was the year of that one?
2019?
18, 19?
It was 18. Yeah, it was 18. Yeah.
2018, guys. Okay, I'll embarrass myself. I paid $700 for that bottle. Right? Now, I've been down that road. I've learned those lessons. It was a silly thing to do, but I did it. So I want to make sure that I also am very transparent to y'all to say I've made everything we're going to talk about here. I've done it. So I've done it.
Well, and two, I feel like everybody's got that one thing that they overindulged on at some point and they splurged and spent a little bit more than they should.
Sure.
That's fine. To me, I don't find that embarrassing or silly. You just get caught up in the hype, and that's what marketing and hype does.
Yeah.
If you do it 20 times in a row, that might be a little bit of a different story. But if you have the means and the money to, and you're a huge George T. Stagg fan, and you want every single one that's ever been put out, and you just don't have this one from 2002, and it's $2,500, and that's going to complete your collection, sure.
Yeah, that's
more power to you.
Right.
But try not to overspend if you don't have to, and just get a little bit more educated on what things should actually cost when you're in the store.
All right, buddy, I do have a few things written right down here. That's why I look down here once in a while, because Lord knows I ain't going to remember every point that I want to try to make here today. But next, you don't have to get any, for that matter, or all limited and or allocated releases to enjoy your bourbon journey.
Yep.
You absolutely do not have to. You don't have to have any, for that matter. Listen, it's very awkward kind of a subject matter for us. Because of our platform here, we're able to enjoy, quite a few of those. We don't get all of them.
No.
Absolutely not. But we're able to enjoy quite a few limited and allocated releases because of what we do. But I truly want to tell you that as I've progressed in my whiskey journey, I can honestly say I can walk away from this channel and what we do and
thanks. Yep.
yeah, just blow it that way.
I think I did.
Yeah, well, I hope so.
Yeah,
You've
I
done
think
that
I
to me
did.
before where I couldn't even see that. Tears in my eyeballs. I couldn't even.
It was like SpongeBob when he's got bad breath and
I
blood.
just troopered on with the video, man. Did what I had to do. But I can truly say I can walk away and not ever buy another allocated bottle. I honestly could. Listen, I put this over here, truthfully. This Wild Turkey Rare Breed I have purchased for the Basement Bourbon Bar at least 10 or 12 times, minimum. And I reach for it more than anything else down here. Obviously, I don't mix cocktails with this. Not that you cannot. I don't. So it's been, I don't know, too many people that come down to the Basement Bourbon Bar and say, oh, wow, let me try that.
Yeah, not very
Wild
many.
Turkey or Rare Breed. So all those 10 bottles or whatever it is on me.
Yeah.
That's what I enjoy a lot. So you don't have to have those. Listen, there's a good friend of mine, Marcus, I message once in a while. He and it's like it's like a something he lives by. And it's kind of like a badge of honor to him. That, and I'm going to throw out a number, but Marcus, I don't know if this is the exact number or not, but no matter what it is, he's not going to pay more than $50, something like that, $50-$60. That's his thing.
Yeah,
that's his mantra. That's what he does. He loves discovering bottles or labels that he knows nothing about, and it was $40, $45, and it's fantastic. And he always messages me those as well. I love that. Marcus doesn't have to have. He's just newly retired too. Just a few months.
Congratulations, Marcus.
Marcus does not have to have George T. Stagg up on his shelf in order to enjoy his bourbon journey. He's enjoying it plenty as it is, especially with his limitations and that's chosen. I'm sure. I don't know Marcus's budgets. I don't know his lifestyle. I don't know nothing about it. All I know is that's his limit. That's what he chooses, and that's what he does. Gee, man, we got so many of our friends that, they live by certain restrictions in their budgets. I respect that. Much respect for all of you folks that do that. You do not have to have all the allocated limited releases to have a great journey.
Well, it's like I think it draws a lot of parallels to different types of collecting. Like you have the sneakerheads who are all into the shoes. Mm-hmm. You don't have to have the latest and greatest shoes and accumulate 500 shoes to be a shoe enthusiast. You don't. Right. You can enjoy what you have, and you don't have to spend buku bucks to get all of the new fancy stuff. At the end of the day, it's a shoe. If you enjoy it, I think if you enjoy what you're drinking, who cares what it costs? I really don't.
Yeah. All right, buddy. If you're that person that you do want to try to get a decent number or just a few of limited and or allocated releases, the best way to do that, guys, is build relationships. Going to go back to that, spending that high dollars. So, don't do that. Build a relationship with some of your store owners, so on and so forth. There's some fantastic bottles coming in at grocery stores right now.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Costco's got some amazing deals right now. Build some relationships no matter where you're at, and you'll end up eventually. I can only remember his name. Not that long ago, somebody messaged me and showed me a picture of an allocated bottle. It was a nice bottle. And he said, this is the very first allocated I was ever able to get because I built a relationship with this store.
Yeah.
Thank you for mentioning it. And that's facts. I mean, Trenton can speak to the days when we were running all over God's creation. Trenton was hunting down trucks. He knew when the trucks were coming in. He knew, you can spend a ton of time trying to stand in lines and hunt down these specific bottles where a decent amount of them you can get if you have a relationship with a particular store or store employees, store owners, etc. Yes, honey, I see that hand.
Well, I was just wondering how you would recommend building that relationship. What does that mean for some people?
The thing that I saw the most, and I've talked to several store owners about, you got a guy who comes in, he just wants allocated stuff. He comes in, says, hey, Mike, you got a Blanton's? Mike says, nope, and he just leaves. That's not the right way to go about doing it. And I know there's going to be some folks that live in state-controlled states like Virginia or Alabama that have the ABC, where it's allocated, come in lottery drops, or you have to wait in line, or you go to a Specs in Texas and wait in the line for 24 hours, and you pee in a bucket just to be able to get 6 or 7 really fancy bottles. There are certain things that this isn't going to apply to, and that's really unfortunate. Mm-hmm. But to build relationships, go hang out with the store owners.
Yeah.
Ask about their new products.
Yeah.
Purchase some stuff. You don't have to go in and spend several $1,000s. We were going into Harry's at first buying a bottle or two every so often for the channel, and Harry's one of our best buds now.
Yeah.
So it's not just about spending money, and if it is for that store in particular, that might not be the best store to try and continue that relationship, because if it's just based on money, then it's going to get expensive real quick, and you might as well just buy something on secondary at that point if you're going to have to buy 15 of their barrel picks to get a Pappy at MSRP.
Yeah, whatever you do, guys, listen, if you want to build a relationship, and to speak to your question, honey, in a particular store or something like that, if you need a bottle of wine, if that's one of your needs, don't go to the grocery store for that. Don't do it. Point. Go to that store where you want to build relationships. Hey, John, I'm here. I'm buying this wine. What's your favorite? What do you think? Yeah. I need it for this occasion. Kent does that. His wife Carrie enjoys Pinot Noir wines. He'll go in and get a case of their favorite one, which is only like, $15, $18, but still. He'll buy, 6, and that way she has it for her stash at home. If you need some kind of party favors and so on and so forth, if you need a case of beer, whatever it is, don't you dare go to a grocery store or something like that because you can save $3 or $4 on a case of beer. Don't do that. Go to the liquor store where you want to build that relationship with. That's how that works. Once that person, people see you coming in, coming out, and then you talk to them, build a relationship, pretty soon you'll be rewarded, for sure.
The folks that work at the stores are people as well. And that's one thing that's important when you're building a relationship. But
all right, next on the list, listen to recommendations of people that you trust.
Like me. No?
That was awkward silence, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Okay. I'm just going to continue to drink this.
There's plenty of people on YouTube that I trust and respect. And even when I'm contorted on a whiskey and I pour it, I see you looking at me. I pour it and I'm just confused by it.
I look at you all the time.
I thought you were going to ask me what contorted means.
No, you're all like...
Is that what you do?
Yeah, like a contortionist. Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
And I'm confused about something. I will look up a few of the YouTube whiskey tubers that I enjoy and that I trust their palates and see what they got to say about it.
Yeah.
So there's more than just us, but there's other folks as well, your friends, other people that might be in the journey. Hey, man, I had that bottle. It's fantastic. Ask it. I got an example here, right here. We would not know anything about Conviction, Southern Grace, if it was for Brad's Bourbon Reviews. I think it sent us his pick first.
Yep.
And then our buddy Marty from Whiskey Knows sent us some stuff, and I trust those fellas.
Heck yeah.
I trust them a lot. So, I mean, you got Conviction. How about Brandon from Brutally Honest Bourbon? He sent me, so kind and gracious of him, he sent us 2 picks of Crittenden.
It was good.
No idea about Crittenton.
I didn't either.
None. Detling. No idea. That doesn't come from Chris.
Yeah, Chris.
Buddy Chris. You know what I'm saying? He always harping about, you guys got to get a pick. You guys got to get. We're trying.
He's got 3 or 4 Detlings at every meetup we go to. Crazy.
So listen to good recommendations, guys. It's extremely important, to have that little community bond going on where you guys trust. People will trust each other and take their advice, right, on certain purchases. Trenton. I don't know, buddy. What's next? Do you know?
Broadening your horizons.
Yeah, I gotta get glasses on to see my own writing. Yes, thank you, buddy.
This is a good one, and I feel like for you, Kurt's always been more adventurous, especially with his foods and everything. He's got a very broad palate. Me, I was kind of a little bit more shoehorned or tunnel visioned or whatever on really bourbon to start. And I remember trying Rittenhouse Rye, I believe it was at one point. I was like, man, this is a little too peppery for me. And I just kept going after it and trying different ones. Just because you don't like a specific bottle of, let's say, a Scotch or a rye whiskey or an American single malt or something, doesn't mean that you won't enjoy other kinds. You have rums like a Bacardi, for example, or Jamaican rum. If you don't like Jamaican rums, you might like a dark rum, or if you don't like Bacardi, you might like a Jamaican rum. So there's a lot of different varieties, especially with something like Scotch. I still can't believe that I like American single malt or some peated scotches, because 5 or 6 years ago that was never. No. I would have never thought that was the case. But after trying it and exploring different kinds, like the Kilcairns and the Campbelltowns and the stuff like that, a little bit more lightly peated, it really kind of helps you ramp up instead of going from 0 to 100.
You've gained a big affinity for Bunnahabhains.
Oh yeah, my God, yeah.
Too.
What was that, 2024?
Yeah, the 14 year.
Yeah, man,
it was incredible.
That was delightful.
Listen, I've said it before. I'll try to say it again as quickly as possible. But don't paint yourself in a corner with bourbon only. Now, if you're happy with that, and you have you've tried other things. You have just do you, okay? Drink what you like the way you like it. All right? That's what we started saying this 5-6 years ago. Keep doing that. But I would feel bad in this video if I didn't mention this particular topic, because for a great majority of you, including myself, if you don't step out there and try a few different varieties of whiskey, you may be missing out on one of the greatest types of whiskey you've ever had. Yep. You might. Some of the American single malt they're coming out with now is absolutely fantastic. It's just wonderful. Bourbon's great. I understand why bourbon is top shelf when it comes to whiskey in the United States. It's usually a little bit relatively sweet, so on and so forth. There's been some rye whiskey that Trenton's put in front of me last year that blew me away. It really stepped up rye whiskey on my ladder. It really did.
That was cool. That was cool to see the progression.
No, man. And there was just, I'm going to be honest about it. There was some stuff that really, for a while, rye whiskey's fine. It's good. Yeah, whatever. But he gave me some stuff that was really good. Very good. Even Scotch. Some of you folks and me, I don't, they try, I did this. They try a peated whiskey. And that was the very first Scotch I ever tried was peated.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was a Highland Park Magnus or something like that.
Oh, okay.
And I hated it. I didn't try another Scotch for a long period of time until my friend at the mill, who was the electrical foreman, he told me that to try the Glenmorangie
that one.
lineup.
The orange one.
Yeah. The Glenmorangie lineup. And he was right. He explained a little bit to me about the process. Not all of them have peat, Kurt. Try this one. It's pretty, non-assuming. It's an easy drinker. And from there, I started learning more about it, about sherries and, bourbon cask matured, sherry cask matured, on and on. But if you don't ever try different things and learn about it, you may never know how great something is. So don't be afraid to broaden your horizons. Don't be afraid to dip your toe in some spirits that you know nothing about, because it may be your favorite. You have no idea.
Well, and this is kind of a good segue, right? Because trying and buying different bottles can be a little bit expensive, right? If you know for a fact you're not a big fan of peated Scotch, do you really want to go out and spend $80 on a lightly peated Scotch? Probably not. No. I think one of the best things about whiskey is the community and the people you share it with.
Mm-hmm.
So hang out with some other friends that have the whiskey collections or might have some stuff that you want to try. Go out to different bars or distilleries and see if you can try products. I know that's a little bit difficult in some cases if you want to try scotches in Scotland, but
certain restaurants these days will have your basic lineup of scotch.
Yeah.
Your Glenfiddichs, and things like that. So, yeah.
But join up some Patreons, some Discords and stuff like that, because a lot of times they will have meetups. We have meetups for our Patreon a couple times a year, and it's cool because people bring 80 to 100 bottles, and you get to try some stuff that you might have otherwise not been able to if you didn't go. So really try and get yourself out there. I know for me, I'm not the most sociable person, but the whole community and the bottle shares and like all that kind of stuff really kind of helped get me out of my social shell a little bit.
Say that 3 times.
I do. That's hard. And it's been really cool because not only have we been able to try some really solid stuff that otherwise was not available, but we got to meet some really cool people along the way. And now we'll do sample swaps all the time, and it's cool. It opens up a lot of horizons for not only discovering new stuff, but being able to try it as well.
Yeah, great way to carry that out.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Last but not least, guys, I'd be remiss if I didn't throw this category in, but as always, as I say at the end of every one of our videos, drink responsibly. All right, drink responsibly. The last thing that I ever want to see is somebody end up having a drinking problem or an alcohol problem because they got so knee deep in even our videos, other videos, etc., that you're drinking in excess. Don't do that. Always drink responsibly. Always plan your days off. Several of my friends, they've been messaging, they took they have dry January.
Yeah.
Trent and I, we really can't pull that one off, but they went through dry January. Wonderful. I think that's fantastic. I've talked to our buddy Chick.
Chicken, yep.
Yep, our buddy Chick. He normally just drinks a little bit on the weekend, and then he takes the week off.
Yeah.
I love that. Very smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, just plan your days off. Don't drink daily. Things of that, just the simple things, guys. Simple stuff like that. And I'm going to take it one step further. I don't think I've ever said this on the channel, but I'm going to take it one step further because I got a guy that I know very well that I've worked with for probably 30 years. He's a long-term alcoholic and was in very bad shape for a decent amount of years. Wonderful guy. Great worker. However, very proud of him. I don't know, time flies when you're 62. I'm going to say 8 to 10 years ago, he made a solid effort in AAA, and he's been sober ever since. And he's actually a mentor in the AAA program,
really cool.
right? And he's just been doing incredibly well. He's on a wonderful path now, and I can't be more happy for him. So my point of that is, if this individual came to my house and we had a couple hours to sit down, I would not take him down here in the basement bourbon bar. We wouldn't even come down here at all. Do not lead your friends into any kind of an alcohol situation or drinking situation when you know for certain that particular person is trying to achieve sobriety for whatever reasons they have. We need to try to encourage that with that particular person and try to help them along their journey. And helping them isn't cracking open, a brand new wild turkey rare breed, say, oh, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
When a dude's trying to make it right and trying to, get his life on track. So please keep that in mind as well. So, buddy, that's about all I got for today. I don't know about what you got anymore or not, but
Very, very well said. One last thing, and it kind of revolves around the drinking responsibly thing. When you're at a meetup and there's so many really cool bottles that you haven't had before and you want to have, we've seen this unfortunately time and time again. Don't try and cram every single one of those 20 bottles that you want to try into a single session in a couple hours, because it doesn't end well, and you're gonna feel like garbage the next day. Not to say that I haven't put my head down after a fun time the world's spinning a little bit.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but this is a video about the mistakes that we've made. I've been drunk once in my lifetime so bad I couldn't even make it to the couch once. Same as what you're trying to say.
Yep.
We've been there, done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this was probably 4 or 5 years ago. We were at a friend's bottle share, and this one guy named Dr. Greg brought a ton of really old Dusties.
Oh, that's right up your alley, dude.
And I was like, oh,
Right
man.
up your alley.
And next thing I know, I'm like, why is it so, like, why is everything spinning? And these are 86 proof, but they go down really quickly. And the more you drink, the easier it is to drink stuff that is in that 80 to 90 proof range. So if you are at meetups and things like that, note and write down whatever you want to try. Try a couple of them. And then if you know who brought them, reach out and be like, hey, man, I didn't get a chance to try XYZ. Would you be interested in trading some samples? I didn't have time to get around to it. Don't try and cram everything into one session because it usually doesn't end well. Been there, done that.
If you're going to drink too, prep.
Get some pizza.
Lesson I learned, the first couple of live streams almost didn't make it to the end.
I do remember
Trent knows that.
Yeah.
Kent says, eat a piece of bread, you'll be fine. Well, maybe for him. You know, he's a professional. And so I did that. Remember, honey, I did that piece of bread for a couple times in the live streams. I mean, I'm thinking up here about an hour into it. I don't know. I won't make it through.
I don't think that single piece of bread is doing the trick here.
So I learned JJ's Pizza. That's what works for me when I'm doing a live stream or something like that. Just in general, I have a couple pieces of pizza and I'm good to go, and I don't have any problems whatsoever. If you're going to be drinking in a social setting like that, bottle share and so forth, think about it ahead of time. You know, get some food in your stomach, drink plenty of water.
Hydrate for sure.
Hydrate for sure. Just keep yourself safe, guys.
And make sure you have a DD or Uber or Lyft or something as called on your phone. Last thing we want is somebody getting into a car accident and injuring themselves.
I can't even get in the car to drive if I have a cocktail at the restaurant because your mom won't let me. So that's just the way it goes. Yeah, and that's good. That's a good thing to live by. All right, guys, I think we chatted enough. I hope it was helpful for you. I really wanted to get this one out there. So
if we missed anything, please leave us a comment.
Please.
Or if there's anything you want to add upon or share your story in the comments, please do. Let's make this a discussion. Because I'm sure there's some topics that we missed or skimmed over too quickly since 100%. There was 9 different topics we were trying to cram into a 30-minute video.
Yeah, please do. All right, guys, as always, we ask you to please drink responsibly. We're going to hit it one more time, and then we'll see you next time. Right down here with Trent and me in a good old basement bourbon bar. Hey, before I end it, Trenton says Wednesday's got a surprise bottle for a review.
I do have
no idea what it is. But
shout out to Dustin. He knows what I'm talking about.
All right, guys. Have a fantastic week. See you later.